We all face moments where we stumble, right? Those moments that just knock the wind right out of our sails. That sinking feeling after a significant mistake can make rebuilding your confidence seem like climbing a sheer cliff face. But I want to share a secret today. These moments of failure are actually divine appointments for profound character development. God doesn't waste a single painful lesson, using every misstep to chisel away what isn't essential. So forget trying to pretend it never happened. We're going to tackle this head-on with a clear, faith-based plan. This process is about transforming correction into construction, turning ashes into something beautiful. Our first essential step in this whole journey back to solid ground is radical honesty in prayer. This isn't about reciting a script. It's about laying your true, messy feelings right before the Creator. Admit the specific areas where you missed the mark without the sugarcoating of self-excuse. Ask Him not just to forgive, but to show you the why behind the temptation or the error. This deep dive into truthfulness with the divine starts to re-anchor your identity in something much more stable than performance. When you speak the truth of your failure out loud to God, you take away its power to silently shame you. Embrace the vulnerability of that moment, because vulnerability is the birthplace of authentic strength. Now, let's move into the quiet work of self-reflection, which is step number 2 in your confidence recovery. This is where you examine the situation not to beat yourself up, but to extract the wisdom hidden inside the pain. Ask yourself, what was the root cause that allowed this mistake to take root in my actions? Self-reflection is a gentle excavation. You are looking for the cracked foundation, not blaming the house that currently stands. Maybe it was exhaustion, maybe it was pride, or perhaps it was simply a lack of preparation in that area. Once you identify the vulnerability, you can start building a strong defense against its return. Do not confuse introspection with rumination. Introspection seeks a solution. Rumination just circles the drain. Write down the key lesson learned, giving that painful experience a positive return on investment. Every time you review that lesson, you are actively reinforcing the new, stronger version of yourself. This self-awareness is a gift from the process, turning a liability into a lifelong asset for your growth. Now for step 3, the part where you move from insight to ingrained habit, steady discipline. Confidence isn't something you find. It is something you build brick by brick every single day. If your mistake involved procrastination, your discipline must now be centered on starting small tasks immediately. If it involved impatience, your discipline is now about building in 5-minute buffers before every major decision. This isn't about perfection in a day. It is about showing up imperfectly but consistently for the long haul. Your spirit needs to see proof that you trust your own ability to follow through this time. Each small act of discipline is a declaration against the old pattern and a vote for the person you are becoming. The beautiful irony is that true discipline is actually freedom, because it removes the anxiety of potential failure. When you are disciplined, you don't have to sidey hope pie. You do the right thing. You simply sidey the right thing. This steady action recalibrates your internal compass, pointing you back toward God's intended path for your life. With prayer, reflection, and discipline in motion, you can now begin the critical work of moving forward without fear. Fear shrinks not because the circumstances change, but because your internal certainty in God's faithfulness grows. You learn to see every future choice not as a pass-fail test, but as another opportunity for faithful practice. The past mistake is now just data, a historical reference point for wisdom, not a binding contract on your future. Trusting God in this rebuilding phase means trusting His process even when your emotions still feel shaky. He is not waiting for you to be perfect before He shows up. He meets you exactly where you are, right now. Your character is being forged in the fire of this experience, and the resulting steel will be infinitely stronger. Allow the correction to shape you rather than crush you, and watch your confidence rise from a new foundation. Remember that growth is not a straight line. It is a spiral path that always moves upward, even if you backtrack a little. Every morning is a clean slate offered by grace, inviting you to practice your lessons with fresh energy. So, move forward today, not by forgetting the stumble, but by powerfully integrating what you learned from it. Your story isn't defined by the mistake. It is defined by the courageous faith you use to rebuild. You have everything you need in Christ to walk this journey with new assurance and peace. Let's go and live out the confidence that comes from knowing you are beautifully shaped by His loving correction. Thank you for walking this path of growth with me today. The journey of rebuilding is one we walk together.